Hi, and welcome to another edition of The Spirit of the Valley. We got our monthly pal back, Larry Ruffing, the fitness director at CCBA. And this time, for a change of pace, Larry's going to be my guinea pig. He's going to be our show and tell. We're going to do a few simple exercises that we're, again, on the theme carried over from last time about weight bearing. Don't need a lot of equipment, if any. And some of these things you don't need a thing, except your body, and that's really the best, I think, best kind of weight training is body weight training.
Yes.
So you're not dependent on a whole lot of fancy stuff. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here.
It's good to be back.
And I think we'll do a little work today.
Yeah, we probably will.
We both worked out earlier, but you might just have a second one. Actually, what we're trying to do is show you things that you can do in your living room, on the golf course, anywhere you are. I found that on a golf course, it's a great way to wait while the three are hitting.
Yeah.
Lunge away.
Yes.
Lunges, squats, I'm sure most of you are familiar with them. If you haven't done them or not, you have heard them. And we have a band with us, too, to show you something that you can throw in a suitcase and do bicep curls or hitch it to a door and do chest. I mean, it's very versatile, some of the stuff you can find in the department store. And they all are growing those departments now.
Yes, they are.
You notice that?
Very much so. Very, very much so. It's
stuff.
just starting to add more diversity to people's workout programs by changing whether it's a band or body weight exercises. You're not necessarily in the gym. You don't need dumbbells. You don't need the free weights or machines. And I think it makes it portable for those that want to go on vacation.
I think that's the word. If you travel around or have another house and don't want to lug things around, it's just a nice way you can do it on the grass. I mean, these are everyday motions that we use anyway.
Correct.
You're squatting whether you know it or not. And they're fabulous workouts, and they are a workout. You do enough of these and you're warm, to say the least.
Yes, you are.
But we were talking last time about TRX being one that's body weight. And this is just one that lends itself. So Larry's going to just be our little performer.
Okay.
Do you want to show some of the squats and describe them in the terms of where you are?
Well, the first one that we want to talk about can be done in a chair as we're sitting here. And one of the biggest myths that we end up talking about before that we have is your knees can't go over your toes. A lot of instructors will tell you that. It's come down from the last couple of decades. People are still following that. So one of the things we want to do is kind of dispel that. It's very, very difficult. Some people can do it. Most people cannot get out of a chair without putting your knees over your toes to stand up. So you want to be able to do it. There's nothing wrong with it. And if I stand up and I face sideways and I put my knees out over my toes, I'm not even bending 90 degrees here. So I'm still fine. It's not hurting my knees at all. But my knees are out over my toes. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's part of dispelling that myth. But a simple little squat that you can do, and you can do it with a chair behind you, you can do it with a stool, or you can do it without anything behind you. And it just means I'm just going to go down, I'm going to sit, and then try and stand back up. I'm just going to go down and then back up. Now, if I want to, I can do it in a chair.
That's right.
And this way I can control it. I go down, I touch the chair, and I stand back up. Just touch the chair and stand back up.
And remember that when you're in and out of a chair, you're squatting.
Yes, you are.
So it's not an unnatural motion. It's a functional motion that...
Well, one of the things we try and stay away from is when I get in the chair, is just falling into the chair.
Exactly.
Because you can hurt yourself doing that, so you want to be able to control it. And that's where the chair squat, if I just go down, touch the chair, and back up. Go down, and I can sit back, lean myself out, step up. I can make it a different count exercise. I can slowly count all the way down, sit, rock back, lean forward, stand back up.
And the more control you're using, the better it is for you.
Absolutely.
And you'll feel everything you're touching or working while you do that.
True. The slower I go, the more you're doing the work, the more benefit you're going to get out of it. So that's what we really try and do.
It's true. So anyway, if you're doing them, and another way to make it effective is to hold something.
Yes.
Because that's a whole different exercise right there. It could be a dumbbell, but it could also be anything in your house that weighs 5 or 10 pounds, and you're holding that and going down, you're doubling the workout.
You are. One of the favorite things that people have is they take their gallon milk jug.
Yeah.
And you can either fill it up with water or you can fill it up with sand, whatever you might want to do. And then if you have got a scale, put it on a scale and you know how much it is. You can make different ones that way. It adds a little bit more to it. It also adds a little more core work if you've got to hold it out in front of you or off to the side. Now you're going to engage your abdominal muscles, your lower back, plus you're putting a little more stress on the thighs and your glutes or your backside, your hamstrings, as you do the exercise.
It's true.
We can, and the other part we talked about, we'd mentioned, is we can do a lunge. So instead of just doing it with my feet together, I could put one foot in front of the other, and now I'm just simply going down. I can touch the knee to the floor and stand back up. So we try and do the exercise where you just touch the knee to the floor and then stand back up. One of the issues we've come across, the older we get, we find it maybe a little more difficult to get up off the floor. If I can get to this position, now I can just stand up, put my feet together. So we want to work on going down and back up. If you feel it a little shaky, you can put your hand, rest your hand on something just to help your balance until you get a little more comfortable with it, and I can just go down and up. Or if you've got a broom handle, you can hold on to that and just do the simple movement. Now, switch my feet up, and I can do the other side. So I'm just going down and up. Simple little movement, but changes from the squat movement to more glutes. You really feel it in the front thigh of the foot that's forward.
Yes, you do.
It just changes the feel of it, so you're working more than just one muscle for one exercise.
And lunging can be done across a room.
Yes.
You know, forward lunge, side lunge, back lunge. You can travel with it, do a few lengths of a room, and you've done a pretty good thing.
Well, one of the things we want to be careful about that you can lunge at the facility. We go up and down the ramp, or like you said on the golf course, you can do a forward and back. The one thing you really want to be careful about with that is you want to make sure you're doing it in what we call a 4-count exercise.
Yes.
So if I'm here, I don't want to step forward and break. I want to step forward 1, 2, 3, bring my foot together 4, then lead with the other foot. I can do it backwards, 1, 2, 3, and step back. So you can go in either way. But try and make it a 4-count exercise, so now you're taking momentum out of it, but you're also really controlling the movement and therefore getting more bang for your buck, so to speak, with the exercise.
It's certainly smoother. I mean, anything is smoother than the jerk, hurry motion that we all tend to do until we learn differently. But lunging is something you can do. I do it all the time, actually, across a room. When no one's looking, I do it across the room. People laugh, and I say, come on, just do it with me, and you won't laugh at me. But it's a very effective lunge. What are you working now? When you're talking glutes on the lunges, really big time.
Yes, it could be the glutes.
Yeah.
But when I get down to here, I'm pushing with my toe from the back foot, so it puts a little more stress on the front of my thigh.
Yep.
I'm also pushing up here, so I feel it in the front of the thigh, as well as the calf of the back leg. So you're working a lot of the major muscle groups in the lower body. When you get up here, you feel it more in the front, up high in the thigh, because you're going to lock your feet out. But you're definitely working the muscles down here, in your glute, your backside, as well as the front part of the leg.
The other thing I wanted to say before we left squats, I was taught them, and it was a really good way. You're sitting down. You're really back. All your weight should be on your heels when you're doing a really good squat.
Right.
Because if you're forward, it means you're not going down straight. It means you're leaning forward. But it also, the true lunge is, if I find if I accentuate that in my mind, get them on the heels and sit way back as far as you can go without falling over. It's about right.
Well, and by putting more pressure on the heel, you end up working more of your hamstrings behind your leg.
Yeah.
So I like to think, instead of the ball of my foot or the heel of my foot, somewhere right in the middle, or be equally pressure on the ball and the heel. So I'm kind of pushing through the instep of my foot. That keeps me balanced. That works both the front and the back. Now, another change up to that can be what we call the side lunge. So I can be standing this way. I can step out to the side, down, up, and then squeeze together here. Or I can just, when I go up, I bring the other foot back. So if I go out, down, up, together, step it out this way and back, and I can go either way. Or you can do that, like you said, you can do that across the room.
It's a good way to measure, do 4 backs and forths, and it kind of gives you a good number.
Yeah, so because now I'm working my abductor and adductor muscles as well, the inner and outer thigh.
Yep. And I think people don't realize that this is not a brain surgery. It's easy, but it takes some learning. to do it right. And doing it right is what it's all about.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
a sloppy one isn't worth it because you're not working what you should. You're going to fall over most likely.
Right.
I mean, you got to learn the right way to do it.
Well, and the thing is, like you've said this many, many times before, the slower you go, the more you're going to incorporate your balance as well.
Yes.
And a lot of people really want to work on their balance. As we get older, it's one of the first things that we lose, because
Sure is.
what do we do to focus and work on our balance? We don't stand around a lot and stand on one leg. We can, that's great for the balance. But the slower you go, the more your balance is in play,
Right.
the more you control it, the less momentum, but now you're in control of it. So it really does help so that you don't fall over as we get going, as we get older.
Balance really is an issue.
It is.
If you don't keep up with that, and it's very hard to regain it. But you can.
You can.
I could
You
after
can.
a layoff. But if you say that when every step you take, you're balancing, because every step you take, you're on one foot, alternating with the other.
Right.
So people don't think of it that way. It's pretty basic stuff. But when you have to move and turn around and reach for things, and you know, it's critical. And these things all have, in fact, balance, and they include balance in their performance.
They do. Well, one of the things that we've noticed as we get older, our stride seems to get a little bit shorter. And I think it's because we don't have as much faith in our balance. Therefore, we want to work on something where we can increase our stride length, have the faith in ourselves, so we're not just shuffling our feet along, but we're able to walk at a normal pace.
We don't want that shuffle,
No.
if we can help it. Tim Conway did, but we don't need it.
No, we don't. The other thing that happens too is when you start to shuffle your feet, you end up dropping your head to make sure there's nothing in front of you, so now your posture becomes an issue
Yeah.
as well. So that's another reason why we really want to try and maintain a balance. We maintain an upright posture, we're looking out in front of us,
Yep.
and not worried about tripping and maybe falling. So
There aren't
that's,
too many things you can do comfortably and right and correctly with your head down.
yep, it's true. Very true.
We have another thing we were going to try too. This is another portable item that you can put in your suitcase. I throw it in a bag anywhere I go just because it's something I know I can do for myself if I'm confined in a hotel room or, I don't know, I'm not at a gym. So Larry's going to show you the band.
Little band.
I'm milking him. I'm afraid my mic will come off, so I'm just going to watch.
Okay, all right.
Did he buy that?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, the band can add a lot of resistance to any exercise you might want to do. We can do the same thing with the squats by adding a band, and we're going to add a little more resistance. So if I put my feet out and get in this position, now when I go down, I'm pulling back up. So I've just added some resistance this way. All right, so as I stand up, now I can put my feet further out on it, so I really change the shortness of the straps, so I'm just getting a little more resistance. But if I'm standing, I can put one foot in it, and then I can do a bicep curl, all right, which will help. I can put 2 feet in it, which now makes the band that much harder to do.
Yeah.
So I'm increasing the resistance that we're doing this. If I widen my feet, like so, the band is now, it's even tighter to pull it up.
So it's the equivalent of upping the weights if you were doing it with dumbbells, essentially. I mean, you're graduating from easy to medium to hard,
Right.
which is good for you, obviously.
Very true.
You can put this, yeah, go ahead.
You can do this sitting down too. I can put the feet right out in front of me. I can do it here. But the one component I can add is if I widen my feet a little bit and keep the strap, the band underneath it, I can do a row. And I can do it with my palms facing, with my palms up, with my palms facing down, and make it a high row. So now I'm working
It's
the
incredibly
back
versatile.
of my neck and the back of my shoulders.
Incredibly versatile piece of equipment.
It really is.
Plus, you can do it if you have the right kind of door or something. You can hook it around and then stand and push forward with chest press, or, I mean, you really can do any direction if you have something safe that it'll lock onto.
Oh, you can. And one of the things that we've even talked about is I can just take this, flip this right over the chair.
There you
It's
go.
behind the chair. Now, if I sit out on the end of the chair, I can do my chest press
There you
sitting in
go.
my chair. And then I can change the grip, put my thumb underneath what we call a thumb under grip, hand over the top so the strap's under my arm. But it gives me a good stretch, and I can bring it back. And see, I get a good stretch here, and then push forward. Good stretch, and push forward. So that's another
This is-
little anchor point that you can
Well,
do.
and it's just an amazing tool. I mean, no one really understands how something how you can get a total body workout without leaving home, indoor, outdoor. It's what we do in there, it's just with different things, but it's so simple. And if you ever, some of the gyms you find when you go to motels, and hotels aren't always quite what you're expecting or hoping for. It's nice to have something with you, and if you don't have time, just do a few sets of these and you've done yourself a lot of good that day.
Oh, you can maintain your tone and just maintain some strength.
Yeah.
One of the things that I like about this is it's constant tension with the strap. There's constant tension when you pull back or do whatever exercise you do. So in some aspects, the band is harder through a full range of motion because it gets harder as you get near the end of it when you're pulling out than, say, dumbbells. So if I'm doing the curls, you know, that I was just doing. When you get to a certain point with a dumbbell, gravity takes it over and pulls it back. Yeah. That doesn't happen with the band.
Exactly.
Especially if you've got it anchored out in front of you and I'm going to pull my arms this way.
Oh, it's making you do the work.
It's harder. And then the other part I like about it too is not only if I got my feet out in front of me like so and I'm going to do a bicep curl this way, if I slowly let it go back, now I'm working it through a great range of motion, all the way out, get the stretch, and then pull it back in.
And you'll feel it big time. Even more so, when, as we said, when you slow it down.
Yes.
When you're doing this for speed, which most things aren't meant to be done that way, you don't feel half of the benefit you're getting. When you slow it down and force yourself to go down slower than you came up, it's amazing what you feel.
Very different. This is I'm letting the straps bring it back. Whereas, because the strap is pulling itself back. Where if now I'm going to slow it down, I'm going to resist it. I'm getting the work, again, in both directions. So, so there's really no excuse, I say that, not to sound condescending. There's no reason everyone can't have something in their home that helps them with weight, and even people that aren't excited about weight training, although they should be. They have something there that's really a very subtle way, but it's not subtle in what it can do for you. Right.
It's subtle because it's almost fun, so you don't really think you're working.
Yes, this is true.
And exercises that are fun, people assume can't be effective. No.
Not true.
No.
Not true.
So the fact that you can sit in your living room chair or anywhere else and squat, lunge, pull on that, it's incredible how far you can get, and you get a good workout.
Oh, you really do, especially with this. The resistance of the band, as we said before, it increases the more you pull it away. So it gets harder and harder as you're doing it. And that's the part that's kind of fun about it.
Well, if you kind of make a count, a lot of instructors will do this, just count how many steps going down. If you count to 10, your arms are going to be telling you that they've just done something huge.
Very much so.
And do it the same way. If you come up a little faster but go down on a count of 10, and you can't do that as well with a dumbbell. It just wants to go. They're heavy, and they kind of want to get to the bottom before you want them to. Yeah,
that's true. It does happen, and that's why it is fun. I like changing up the routine and working with a band and hooking it over a railing or around a pole.
Yep.
They do make little pieces that come with some of the bands that you buy now that you can hook it over a door. You just close the door.
That's right.
Or you can hook it to a doorknob. It just makes it very nice and very portable, but you can get a full workout in with just one band.
It's
and
amazing.
You change it up by whether you grab it way down here, you grab it on the handle. You can change the resistance by where you grab it on the band itself or how wide, how far back it is from you.
Show the lateral.
Oh, the lateral.
There's a good motion there.
Yeah, if I take it up, put my foot on it here, and then I can just go out to the side. So now I'm working my shoulders, and I can do the lateral.
It's a whole different.
I can do the front.
Yep.
And it makes it a lot different. Yeah, this is really good just for any kind of shoulder work that you want to do, but you can go forward or frontwards or sideways.
It's really, and a lot of people have posts in the cellar.
Yes.
And they're wonderful for this because it's the most normal lateral height you can have it at. And doors are different; they slide off, but I've tried it anyway and paid. But no, they've upgraded them with that hitch in the middle where you can hook it over a door, and you all have a door, so no more excuses again, right?
Yeah, we keep trying to take away the excuses.
We're taking them away because these are harmless, they're totally beneficial, and they're simple. You can do them anywhere. Anyone can do them, any age, any size. I see people buying them all the time in the store where I see them, and They're just trying to make a beginning. I asked someone once if they were in a gym or if they were supplementing it or something. She said, no, I just need to do something. And someone said, these are, and I spoke with her for a few minutes. I said, you just made a huge investment because it's cheap. By the way, all the stores now have an amazing fitness section.
They do. They do.
They've added so many choices of things that are popular now in so many sizes and colors. And I mean, the colors alone are making them more fun. No more silver, steel gray, or whatever it is.
True.
Unbelievably attractive. But they're all really seeing this whole industry just take off, and it has been for a long time. But you can find anything you want, and you don't break the bank.
No, you don't. You really don't. Well, and you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said, too, that it's simple.
Yeah.
And it's simple but very, very effective. Try it just once and see what you think. But it is a simple way of getting a very good exercise program for yourself started. And I've been exercising for I don't know how long. Both of us have been doing it for most of our lives. And we go back to these because it is fun. They're simple. They're very, very portable. Will fit anywhere you want to take it. Even if you're out hiking and you're going to be out hiking staying over, you can put it in your backpack and it doesn't weigh that much. But it does give you a very good exercise routine. And it is fun. You can make it fun.
Yeah, and even if you're a gym person, there are days when you don't get in. Your time doesn't allow you, or it's pouring and snowing and you don't want to go anywhere. That's all you have to have. Yeah. It's all you have to have. And you feel like, you know, it may not be the complete deal that you would have done there, but you've done something good for yourself while you're stuck in the house.
Well, this way, people won't feel like, well, you know what, I missed another workout. I'm not going to go back.
Yeah.
The bottom line is with this, is if you're doing something, and the research has shown that if you do something once every 7 days, you can maintain what you have. So if you go to the gym on Monday, but you can't get back in again until next Wednesday because of your schedule, there are 2 days in between that you could do this. You won't lose a thing. You might even gain something.
Yeah.
But you'll feel better about the fact, you know what, it was 10 days since I was last in the gym, but I did do something in between.
You do feel better, and a lot of it's the feeling you have about, I don't want to miss it, I'm in a good routine now. Right. Darn it, I have to be somewhere tomorrow, I can't. So you slip in, 10, 15 minutes of this. You don't feel bad anymore. No. You feel like that whole day was going to be without exercise. Suddenly that's not true. So, we just are really strong on making this something everybody can do. And I think when you see just a few things Larry's just so nicely shown us today, I've had a crummy back, so I'd be up there with you if I could, but I'm making you do it. We've just shown you some things that really, it isn't just about kidding you into no excuses. It's simple. Gyms are wonderful. We both love them, but you don't have to be there all the time. If you can't, you just feel wonderful. I know people that don't leave the house much, but they have something like this in the house. Yeah. Older people, even older than me.
Well, there's a lot of things. I gave a seminar one time. There are a lot of things you can do right from the chair. Yeah. I mean, one of the other ones is I can just hold the band like this and take it out to the side.
Look what you're
doing. I can do this.
Absolutely.
I can sit there and put one arm here, and I can hold it this way. I can then do the other side. Yep. So there's a lot of things I can do just in a chair. If I want to, I can hold it here on the side and do this.
Leg?
With my leg, and so I'm working the outer part of my thigh. There's just a lot of different avenues you can do, even sitting in a chair. If you're watching television, you can take the commercial.
That's the thing. You see, you can do it and not miss a beat, and time-wise, you're not even having to take time to do it. I find commercials are a whole lot more fun when you have something else to do.
Instead of running to the refrigerator.
Don't run to the refrigerator. And this isn't to say gyms aren't great. We encourage that too, obviously.
Very much so.
Because some of the classes, the instruction, the expertise is really critical. But obviously they have a lot more equipment than we're doing here. But this is really a push for those people who don't know what to do or don't know how to do something when they can't go to an institution. We hope it helps. We hope that it'll seem as easy to you as we think it is. And you've seen, truth is right here. He hasn't hidden anything.
No.
Giving you
options. Giving you other options.
And if you forget, just watch the show again. And
we'll go through it again.
We'll do it again.
We'll go through it again.
It might look similar when you watch it the second time. Yes. Your lips might be moving with ours. But anyway, we're big proponents of that, and it makes you something every day that feels healthy. And no one's going to tell you should do a really severe workout every day either. That's usually not recommended.
True.
So on an off day, this is enough, but not so much that you're overtraining, which a lot of people do.
That's borderline. You get close to it, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to be careful about how much you do and when you do it. But this is for those that if you don't feel like you can get there, absolutely, by all means, pick up one of these. You can definitely get something in, and you will feel it. You'll be tired, and you might even get a low glow going.
But you'll be proud of yourself.
Yes, very much so.
I think, and when you get hooked on this, you'll just keep doing it more and more tension and more tension. Then you come to the gym.
Well, I find I got it in my hands. I want to do something
it
with it. It
makes you a little ADD when you get it there. It's no good to just hold it.
No, you've got to do something with it. That's the thing.
Well, I think it matters, and I think it helps everybody realize that a blizzard isn't going to keep you from doing something good. But then again, join the gym too.
Yeah, it helps.
So we talked about this, and the TRX is what we talked about last time.
Right.
And that's another body weight. You have to kind of come to a gym to figure that one out. But they're using them, and it's an amazing hour. But there again, you can do push-ups. You know, there's so many things you can do you can do crunches. You can do a lot of things that you just do with your body.
Yes.
And that's really all you want your equipment is your body.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense until you realize how many things you can do with it. It's been good to you, so be good back.
You should be good
right?
back. I like that, yeah. It's been good to you. Please be good back.
Yeah, so I hope this has helped. I hope this helps people that are not shut-ins by any means, but if you are, this is usually something you can get something out of, or the motions that Larry took us through. Just keep in mind, it's a simple thing to do, and it's the price is right too.
Yeah, it is. It is very inexpensive for these.
Go for the versatility, the ease, the simplicity, and it has all of that has effectiveness, incorporated.
Yes.
So, you've just helped the entire valley. See?
We have. We have.
It's fun to do that every now and then, though, because you got to have a little visual every now and then to make something make sense.
It helps.
I think we all learn that way better.
It helps. Yes.
Well, guess what?
We're out of time.
We did it again. That's why it's a good team. But take advantage of some of this. You'll find it easy, and go to your local department store. Anyway, Larry will be back in another month, and if you have thoughts, we would love to hear them. Our contact information is always on the screen, and if you have ideas you'd like us to talk about or show you, we're more than happy to. We're very eager to do that. So let us know, and we will be happy to please. Until then, see you next time. Thanks again, Larry.
My pleasure. Thank you.
That was good.